How's it going, everyone? Jacob here. Today I'm going to teach you a few easy licks on the piano, and I've got an electric piano sound called up right now. So let's get started. The first lick is a bluesy kind of lick, and it's pretty easy. You're really using a lot of notes that are in the C major scale. Well, I'm going to do it in C just so it's a little easier to learn, but it's simple. You need to know a couple thirds. That's two notes together with one note in between, so you're skipping a note. Here's a third. That's a minor third, but you're going to start on a C here and then go back and forth between the C and the thirds. So, and you see it's like C major, but with a B flat. So you got that bluesy sound. So you got C and G, F and A, and G and B flat. And at tempo, it sounds something like this. Now you can add some little extra variation and color to it if you add some grace notes. So that's using another kind of bluesy note, which would be the flat 3, the lower third, so you have pure major, but now we have that minor color. And when you combine it, get a bluesy sound. So if you add that as a grace note to this lick, and you can add another one here, which is another blue kind of note, which is the lowered 5th, or the raised 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, raised 4. And you can play it a couple different ways. I like to, a lot of times, just kind of slip off one note. But you can finger both notes if you want to. So one more time with some of those grace notes added in. For the next lick, we're also going to stay in C major, and this time we're not going to really have any blue notes, and this one is based on what we'd call a pentatonic scale. Pent meaning 5, we know that. So pentatonic being a 5-note scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then repeat at C. Now the lick, you're basically just going to start on the 2 of C major. So if C is our 1, that's the key we're in, then the 2, then you're going to go up that pentatonic scale, D, E, G, and then G, A, C. So something like this. And you could play an endless amount of variations on these very simple ideas, but I'm just going to give you one kind of quintessential, essential version of it right now, and then you can go and experiment with this idea later and change it, and I would encourage you to do that. But here it is at tempo. Now, one thing about this is it's using a different kind of rhythm. Before we were using kind of a swung 8th note, but this is triplets. So when you're feeling this backbeat and you're trying to play this lick, you want to feel kind of a 12/8 kind of feel, a shuffle. The drums would be playing something like boom, dum, 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 ding, dum, 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 dum. Now, if you want to go a little advanced with this, this is a perfect lick that you can take up the piano and down. You could really take it all over the instrument because it's very symmetrical, because you have this, and then you have the same lick up a 4th, So you can hear how those are similar to each other. So you can, and you can, if you really get good at it, you can burn it fast. And throw in some other bluesy licks and you got yourself a nice run. All right, so we've been kind of in this blues mode, but let's go into a little bit more of a jazz mode for this next lick. This is going to be not C majory kind of blues sound, but more of a minor kind of sound. So we're really thinking now a C Dorian mode, which is a minor mode. So it's like C major, but the E and the B, the third and the 7 are lowered. So that's a C minor 7 chord. So if I have C again as my root, here's the lick. It starts on G, then you're going to arpeggiate a G minor 7 chord. But that will be over C minor. So it gives you some nice color notes. It gives you the 9 and the 11. Here's the basic chord, then with those notes added. It's very nice, it's very colorful. So you're going to arpeggiate that G minor 7, then you're going to arpeggiate C minor, and then end on an F. Again, limitless variations you could do with this concept, but this is just one version. So it'll sound something like this. At tempo. Now double speed. And as you just saw there, like I did with the last lick, this is when you can take up the instrument. And you can also reverse it. And it's a cool lick because you're really just arpeggiating simple 7th chords. But they outline the chord very nicely and they give you some extra colors as well. The next lick takes us back to a bluesy sound, and this one's kind of similar to the pentatonic one, but it stays in one place. I kind of like to think of this one a little bit as like the Vince Guaraldi lick, because if you know in some of his improvisation in the famous Christmas album, the Charlie Brown stuff, he does this kind of thing a lot. He really loves that lick. So this is kind of based on that. So, well, that was basically it, but I'll break it down for you. You start with a third, like the first lick, E and G. But then you're going to do this little roll up to the E chromatically. So you're going to start D and G, then E flat or D sharp and G, up to E. But you're going to do it quick, like this. So really what I'm doing is, I'm playing the D, playing the E flat with my first finger, and then slipping onto the E. And again, you could finger all 3 notes if you want. To me, that's a little more labor intensive though. It's a little harder actually for me. I like to just kind of just put my hand down and in one motion just roll those notes. Now, again, tons of variations, but one way you could do this, or so at tempo. So you can do a lot of cool stuff by just repeating that lick. And again, this is kind of a Guaraldiism here, this kind of thing. Something kind of like that. Now, I've done a lot of these licks, I've swung, I've put a little bit of a swing to them, but these could be played straight as well, in a rock feel or any other kind of straight feel. So if I was going to maybe pick up the tempo a little bit. but of course it works great swung as well. The last thing I'm going to show you is really more of a chord device than a lick, but I definitely use it as a lick style idea a lot because it really comes in handy and it's something that you can use on a lot of different music. Here's the basic idea. You have a third, 1, 2, 3, there's your major third, F and A. If I take the F, which is the root, we're considering we're in F major, so an F chord. If I take the F, put it down an octave, now that third is a 10th. And what I can do is I can walk that 10th up the scale. And in this case, we're in F major. And you see we're getting these implied chords with each one, and these are evoking the idea of a scale tone triad, which are the triads that you get when you plane up a scale, and in this case, major scale. So you get F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E diminished, which is a really interesting one, and then F. So just walking up the thirds, which are just 2 notes, you can hear all those chords. Now the thing I want to show you, our little chordal idea, is to put the root on top and walk those tenths with the root sustaining. So you get something like this. It can have kind of a bluesy inflection, it can have a gospel-y, kind of church kind of inflection to it. It's just, man, I love this sound. It's really great. And there are a lot of jazz pianists that use this too. Bill Evans was famous for doing. So parallel motion walking up a scale with one note that's static that stays the same. It's a beautiful color to use. So that was just me riffing around that general idea in F, but you can see how many possibilities it opens. Let's keep it consistent and hear it with the click. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any questions about the licks I played in this video, please put those in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, click here for more videos like this one, and go to sweetwater.com for all of your music instrument and pro audio needs.